All right. So as we're moving through as you're moving through the planning document here, your slot plan is starting to take shape. We haven't talked about in the classroom yet. We're kind of more focused on the plan. This is the heavy lifting. Once this is laid out in the classroom, doesn't require much preparation at all. All right, so that's taken us through the 5 steps, actually the 6 steps. So step 7 and step 8 are the classroom activity. Now I'm delineating slot 1 and slot 2 because they will look different in the classroom. So what does slot 1 look like? Well, you got 3 R words that you need to remember for slot 1, which is revisit, refresh, and reawake. That is the whole idea behind this. Is we're not reteaching these topics. We're trying to revisit them, refresh, and reawaken those topics for the students. It's almost like knocking the cobwebs loose with the kids. So 28 days is long enough that the cobwebs have started to form, but it's not so far that they're buried. So again, 3 R words: revisit, refresh, reawake. And what that's going to look like is a 15 to 20-minute activity where you basically say, hey guys, this is what we did 28 days ago. Do you remember it? And it's okay if they don't. That's why we're doing the slot. This is why we did it. This is how we did it. So that is forcing the kids into their long-term memory to reawaken and refresh that information. So when it comes to September 30th, your slot 1 activity for 15 to 20 minutes is going to be heavily teacher directed. All right, so we're not going to just say, put some problems on the board and say, hey, this was from a month ago, do it. We already do that. That is how we do a lot of things. We're just going to front load it this time and say, hey, this is what we did. We might do 1 or 2 models to refresh with the kids, some guided practice. And this can be the teacher guided, or it could be partner practice. Then if time allows you, do an independent practice. But don't cut the model or the guided practice. If you're running out of time, drop the independent practice. You can always loop back to that the next day in your opener, your warm up. And then the most important thing, and I say the most important thing, what is often left out when I coach the slot strategy is the teachers forget the close or the summary. So they do a wonderful like refresh and reawakening and the modeling, and you can see that the kids, it's starting to come back. And then they'd say, okay, wrap it up, put it away. You've got to summarize the activity. And the summary is very much like the opening, where you basically say, hey, today in our slot activity, we revisited the topic. You could do a turn of talk. It could be a Q&A. It can be you just summarizing it, kind of however you want it to work it out. Use a variety of those activities. But when you do the slot 1, there are some things that are extensions. So these are optional. You don't have to do these, but a lot of teachers do like to do these. They'll do a ticket out the door. So they do their slot and then they do an exit slip. For older kids, I really like the quiz extension and including it on chapter test. Now, this isn't, you're not going to be a secret here. You're going to say, hey, these slots are going to show up on our next quizzes. These slots are going to show up on our next chapter test. I really like aligning computer practice. So you do your slot. Almost every district I work in has access to some kinds of computer programs that allow them to assign specific things for kids to practice. So you do your slot, then they get to practice it on the computer. Games, station centers. What a lot of teachers will do is they'll actually call their slot activity Throwback Thursday, and they'll do it every Thursday. But I have also seen Way Back Wednesday. I've seen Flashback Friday, Memory Monday, and Toss It Back Tuesday. So you give it a name, you build a routine. Kids really like that. All right, so what I want you to do now is take a moment, discuss what your slot 1 activity looks like, discuss any extensions that you might do, and then I really want you to discuss the possibility of picking 1 day a week so that everybody knows on Thursday when the kids come in, You, the teacher, are going to throw it back to something that they learned 28 days ago. I'm telling you, they love that type of activity.